All right, welcome back to the Young Adults Podcast, the hub of spreading love, knowledge, and leadership. I'm Dylan at Daily Musician or Kirk the Guide.
Barry at _ Barry Walker _ on Instagram.
I'm Lawrence, Snapchat Law Indie _ Law Indie _ on Twitter, and Lawrence _ Mitchell _ on Instagram.
All right, you got the topics, cuz.
All right, we can cut some of this shit out.
We wanted to focus on relationship. Is that what we want to do?
So the topics is, should men and women be treated the same? Why men cheat? Is attraction really that important? Value, money, or happiness? Ongoing tension between men and women? Social media influence on personal life living behind the likes? Is bullying, cyberbullying really prevalent? Mental health in the black community. Why do nice guys finish last?
You pick, Barry.
So we should start off probably strong.
It's whatever. Just pick one.
Is attraction really that important?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, what are we gonna segue into?
Everything attraction.
Everything.
Looks, personality, work ethic.
I mean,
attraction
I feel like
is important.
At first, like when you first meet that person,
This one was good.
when you first meet that person, they gotta look good. You're not just gonna walk
Right.
up to know
It's common sense.
nobody and be like, "Oh, I'm trying to mess with you."
Because your personality, like I don't even know you.
Like, "Oh, yeah, we got a great personality. Let's get to know each other. I just met you. I don't make no sense." So, yes, it does. It plays a big part. And then you can segue from there into personality, like a person's demeanor and how a person just acts naturally.
Okay.
Anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think if the person's not attractive, I mean, you're not going to be attracted to them to want to talk to them and find out about their personality. So I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's true. No, yeah, I feel that 100%. And then personality and how you act plays a lot of part. But do you feel like in a relationship, once it gets a little bit more serious, that the way you act overshadows the way you look at some point?
No, but I feel like yes, but it's not like there's certain situations and there's certain things that plays out. Like, say I have a best friend, and at first we just cool, and it's not like I find her attractive or anything, but we just start getting to talking, and like she's a real cool person.
Right.
I'm like, all right, I actually want to be with her. It wasn't really based off attraction; it was just based off me
The
getting to know
relationship
her.
I had.
Yeah,
Okay.
just stuff like
Okay,
that.
I like that. I like how you put that. How you feel about that?
I mean, yeah, I'm not about to deal with no. I try to be as upfront as possible.
Huh?
I try to be as upfront as possible about
Right.
how I'm gonna be, so the looks don't deceive.
Right.
But with me, that's never really been a problem though,
What you mean?
because the way I look is the way I act. I think. Well, when it comes to females, when it comes to women,
What do you mean? You gotta. What do you
Like,
mean? The way you
for-
look? What you see is what you get type thing.
like I always got I've gotten anything from you look like you want to fight all the time to you always quiet. You probably thinking about stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
No, you didn't.
It's not you.
Not even that, but me knowing from personal, not experience, but knowing you, I always said you look serious anyway.
that's what
All
I'm
the
saying,
time.
and I'm genuinely am serious, and I've tried to ease up.
People don't realize how not serious you are all the time, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
But it's just how you naturally. It ain't even like you forcing it sometimes. Like you just chilling. You just have a very
Resting.
military-like personality.
yeah, I've heard resting
Yeah.
bitch face. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody got that though. Who's just around this mug?
Some people
Have
just
you-
look, but I don't even think it's that. It's just some people look a little bit more approachable than other
yeah,
people
approachable,
like
yeah.
chilling.
And I feel like the people that do look approachable sometimes aren't really approachable.
No, they're not. It's just that's just how they just look welcoming. They're not
This-
though. And it'd be other way around sometimes because like a lot of people that don't look approachable are the ones that got really like bubbly personality. You would never know that though.
Yeah, so personality is definitely important. I mean, that's gonna overlook the way you look any day, at least with me.
Facts. Okay. Now let's be a little real here.
There got to be a level of attraction.
So
Your personality could be amazing,
Nah, I feel like if you
If
are
you got a through the roof, off the scale personality,
all right, hypothetically speaking, hypothetically, if I was out and about,
right,
and I overheard a girl talking,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh, what she's talking about, I'd be interested in too.
Mhm.
And somehow I get in the conversation, and she's not one that I would have approached right away, but she's not hideous either. You know what I mean? I would go on that.
Okay, I like that.
I will go on that.
Okay,
Hypothetically.
you go. I'm gonna go. Hypothetically. Okay.
I mean, I don't know how to play that. I mean, I guess it just depends on the situation, because it's like, yeah, you could be talking about some nice, but it's like, all right, I can have a good conversation with a lot of people, right? And it's like, I don't really.
You especially want a good conversation with the one you're gonna be looking at every day and talking to every day.
But I find sometimes it's a little bit harder when you like somebody. At least that's how it used to be, from my experience. When you like somebody and you try to talk to them, it's a little bit harder to talk to them like how you would talk to somebody not less attractive, but somebody that you don't look at as somebody you're trying to get with. You know what I'm saying?
Elaborate.
So like say I'm just chilling and it's a girl that I really like and she like top tier.
Okay.
I mean like 10 on the Richter scale, down piece. And sometimes it's hard for, like, it used to be, you good? It used to be hard for me to talk to girls like that. Like I'd be always trying to think about how I look and through their eyes. So I wouldn't be trying to talk a lot, I'd just be trying to look cool and stuff. But then you can go talk to somebody now. Everybody is beautiful.
In their own way.
In their own ways. But if it's somebody that you just look at, not even like that, not even attractively, I mean, okay, you can have a conversation with them all the time because you're not worried about how you. And it's messed up that it's like that sometimes, but I'm gonna keep it 100% honest. I'm not like, if it's somebody that's not attracted to me, I don't care what I look like to them. And that might be messed up. Tell me if it is.
No, I feel like, because it's like, if I'm trying to have a friendly conversation with you, like, it don't matter what I'm saying, I'm just talking.
But if it's somebody that you really messing with, that you trying to vibe with, you like, I don't really like, I'm trying to worry about, like, I'm touching my head every time, wiping my face, you know, this little stuff like that.
Lips ain't chapped.
Yeah, this little stuff like that.
I feel like that's a lack of confidence, though.
That's not a lack of confidence, it's just a lack of, it's just...
You trying to make yourself be presentable all the time.
Yeah, it ain't...
Right.
I'm trying...
But I feel like
nervousness. It ain't confidence on my part. Because if I wouldn't be trying to even talk to the person at all if I wasn't confident. It's just it's hard for me to, like, if I start stuttering or if I'm overthinking it anyway because I'm overthinking the situation.
That's kind of confidence though.
No,
you have to have confidence to go over there.
You might have the confidence to go that far. But I mean, it's degrees to confidence.
I don't think that's confidence though. I think that's just a lack of.
Or you might just be out of practice.
Yeah, like
we can say that you're out of practice with doing it because when you are practice with talking to people, it's just gonna be natural. And the more practice you become, the more confident you become.
Right, but naturally, I feel like guys sometimes when they talking to a girl that they really vibe with or trying to mess with, it's just the words don't come out like they play out in your head. You know how many times I ran over scripts in my head what I'm gonna say to a girl, and then when I say it, it's like, what are you talking about?
You know what my dad told me?
What?
Get in front of the mirror.
I did that before.
Literally, like you really, if you want to get good at talking to people in
that's
general,
the most awkward thing ever. Talking to yourself. If you could talk to yourself like that,
I'll be talking to myself. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Okay, no, we're not talking about
talking.
Cuz right here laying down talking to himself.
Nah, bro, it's not even like that, bro. I just get in the mirror.
Yeah, like,
but it's like, it's just I can see what you're saying. What you said, lack of practice or out of practice.
Out of being
out of practice. That's just nerves. But when you get into it, you know, at the end of the day, it's gonna be what it is. What you see is what you get to an extent.
So would you be out of practice if you just got out of a relationship?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say that too. As far as experience with talking to.
I feel like you're gonna not give you're gonna give less of a care about really. I feel like once you, I don't know, my personal experience, like, it's probably only been one girl that I talked to or was trying to like really talk to and be cool with that really made me like,
yeah, butterflies.
Yeah, butterflies, sweating and all that. But after that, And just being in high school, growing through the ugly phase, being dusty. I had a dusty phase.
I think everybody did.
I don't think everybody did.
Okay, well, some people parents was going to buy them all types of stuff.
Right,
I didn't have my
some
first
people
pair of
had
Jordans
that,
till
yeah.
freshman year, and I bought them. So if that say anything, then
Yeah, so being dusty, I feel like that make you stronger in a way.
yeah, because then you at that point you don't care about no what. I mean, you get first of all, we grew up in a generation and the schools you went to, you was getting killed. I don't care what you look like. So if you grew up going through that, then you can't. Somebody say really much to you.
It's not too many things somebody could say to me.
Exactly.
If you can talk
And if
to
a girl
female
like you do
at
that,
your worst,
yeah, you
can do anything.
anything, anything for real.
And I had good friends, girls and boys. So I was
It was
comfortable.
cool, yeah. You didn't really care about too many
So-
outside that circle. You might not even care what people inside that circle said, but outside
But
that
if
circle,
I had
really,
to step out that circle, it wasn't a problem. Now
Right.
earlier it was.
right? Because you just didn't care. Like you didn't want to get up in front of the class, walk to the trash can, walk to the bathroom, out the class.
Literally,
Trust
I
me.
had a thing
I
about.
feel I'm not going nowhere.
I had a thing about eye boogers.
You didn't like that's paranoia you always had.
I
or
was
something?
always, especially if a girl or somebody would start talking to me, like I would peek in my phone real quick, make sure I ain't got nothing. Like
Man, let me
that
tell
was
you.
my biggest thing.
It was one time I was talking to this girl, had a fat booger in my nose. Didn't know the whole time.
And she ain't.
I'm
tell
sitting
you.
there. It's like when I walk in, like, I'm going to give you a few examples when something like that happened. Like, I'm walking down the hallway, cool, chilling, have my music getting, book bag wide open. Or I'm walking down the hallway, cool, gym bag open, shorts hanging out, thinking I'm cool. And then I get to it and be like, dang, I just looked the whole food. Walk
No,
through this hallway and talk to this girl with a booger in my nose.
we had got out of team sports, bro. I had some Nike pants on. Nobody told me nothing. I turned around. The Nike sign is on the back of my pants.
Oh, yeah, just stuff on backwards.
Yes, bro.
It just goes to show if you're not really thinking about it and you just act the way you act, then
But that's humbling though.
it is humbling.
Like
Walking around looking stupid.
a real humbling thing for me was several of my cars getting
Oh,
declined
in public with people in the line behind
at
you?
Target,
And they
and the
love saying
cashier
it
was
loud.
cute. And this was pre-girlfriend. Pre-girlfriend. The cashier was cute.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh, that's a different kind of hurt.
I was like,
That's a different kind of
And I
hurt.
had to go in my wallet. I had just enough cash to get what I wanted. But I wasn't trying to spend that cash, but I also wasn't going to take that L, take everything back.
Yeah, just take that back. You know how embarrassing that is? Take that back. Just
Yeah,
put it back
I
in.
hate doing that.
Okay, so we're going to wrap that maybe topic up. So what was that one?
That was
That was the attraction
attraction.
really that important. Okay. So what you pick one? Here, pick one day.
Oh, shoot.
We can cut on this space.
Yeah.
I think segueing into why nice guys finish last. is a-
Man, let's
Oh,
talk
and I
about
have
that.
a great thing about that.
Let's
Let
talk
me
about
just say this right now. A good guy,
Hold on. Nice guys finish last is the next next topic. So you go ahead.
and to get into that, a good guy is not a nice guy. There's a major difference. We'll get into that later.
No, a good guy is a nice guy. It's exactly what that is.
No,
You know what
a nice guy is a good guy, but a good guy is not a nice guy.
All right.
Ooh, let's talk about
Let's
that.
preface this with history real quick.
Oh man.
The whole good guy, bad guy thing. That's a Machiavellian thing. You know who Machiavelli was? He wrote The Prince. The Prince was all about good guys finishing last.
Mhm.
What I deduced from reading, I think it was either in that book you read,
The Art of Seduction.
The Art of Seduction. It was either The Art of Seduction or The 49 Laws of. It was one of them. But it was telling you how, yes, it is good to be it's good. It's okay to be the nice guy or the good guy, but you need to be able to wear both mags because that's how you win in life by being multifaceted. You can't just be the good guy all the
Right,
time.
people will manipulate, take advantage of it.
You're gonna always get manipulated. If you're not manipulating somebody, unfortunately, in the world we live in, you're getting manipulated.
Yeah, that's fact.
So I feel like
That's what I'm saying. Like a good guy is not a nice guy. A nice guy,
okay,
like
yeah, elaborate on
a
that.
nice guy is like, let's say,
This would be perfect.
he
He gives us
puts
whole
a
example.
female over himself.
A good guy
A
does.
good guy keeps the balance between knowing, okay, I can do this and this, and then I know my word, so I'm not about to get played.
So
Okay.
you're not gonna do too much that you
So
can't handle.
a good guy
Okay.
is conscious.
Yes.
Okay,
the
yeah, okay,
nice
let's-
guy is like, all
out,
for
not
somebody.
kind of
Okay.
blind.
That's what I'm saying. A nice guy can be a good guy, but a good guy is never going to be a nice guy.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. So yeah, but I would say nice guys are always gonna finish last because they don't have that consciousness to be like, I'm putting too much out and I'm being manipulated.
Yeah, it's just they blinded by the attraction,
Lust, attraction, yeah.
and not wanting to give the girl everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything, so they don't have to resort back to what they already had before that. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was something less than what they already going after, or you know what I'm saying.
I mean, but if you put a female on a pedestal from the jump,
she gonna expect you.
She
do
gonna
the same
expect
thing.
you.
Yeah, they gonna notice that. You can't. That's why you treat everybody the same.
and they're gonna start taking advantage of that. Not everybody, but 95% of the time they're gonna take advantage of you, and it's not like.
That's like the whole. If you're a nice guy, you're always gonna get friends on.
Yes.
Yeah, because they just feel like, oh, he's just so friendly. Like I could talk to him.
He's
like
not
I could talk to a
assertive.
girl.
Yeah.
You gotta assert your position in what you want. Like I'm like, if you want to talk to her every day, you have to assert that we gonna talk every day and we gonna build something. But if you texting her, how's everything going? If you want to talk, I mean, it's crazy that it's like that. Like, cause you want to pick a girl brain, but if you do it too much, you gonna get friend zone. If you do it too less, it's like we're like, what are we doing? It's just a lose-lose situation to an extent, kind of.
It's like you just gotta play it by how things are going.
Yeah.
Like it could be going good, like, and then too good, and it's like, all right, let me back off real quick, give her a chance to miss you.
Yeah.
No.
Because it's like they said, what's it called? You gotta know when to take a break from somebody, because that's when you know, like, oh, I miss him. I'm not talking to him.
What you was saying sounded like it was out of Art of Seduction, and that line is because it's a whole section there where it talks about letting people miss you. It talks about that in the 49 Laws too.
Oh no,
But I feel like that's manipulative in a way.
But it's kind of like when we were like in the last episode we was talking about girls testing guys. I feel like it's kind of a test. Like, do you not feel like that, kind of?
Because it's like if you put all your attention on her, it's like she's gonna be thinking like, what are you doing?
Because she's gonna be so overwhelmed. She's gonna be like, I don't have to really show too much of what I'm feeling because he's gonna keep pursuing me. But if you stop, then she gonna do the same thing for you. Hey, how are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying?
But that's why I think you should assert, like, hey.
But then we
should talk more.
And then
like,
girl,
you know what I mean? You don't have to be. But I think about you all the time. Like, you don't gotta do that. That's
and some girls like that. So a lot of girls don't. But it's just like then if you over assert yourself, then well, you move too fast, and then it's like, damn, square one again. But why do
what he said earlier, you just gotta go off. You're gonna get more experience. You're gonna be able to pick up certain social cues and stuff, and then you're just gonna navigate. It's really something.
Play it.
It's not no perfect playbook for it.
It's not. It's like
every girl is different.
Yeah, you have to call them audibles all the time.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to move, figure out.
You might be with a girl who's super. You might be trying to get a girl's attention. She may be super arrogant, so you might have to play I'm
playing tough. Like I'm a nonchalant.
Yeah, like what you're doing is not really affecting me.
But now, like now, a lot of I know it was one of my friends told me about this girl that was like super in herself, and we're not gonna go there. But anyway, so right, it was a Drake and Josh episode, right?
Okay.
His mama took him to the movie theaters, right? And so she was like, one of the girls was super into herself, and Josh went over there and was like, yo, I like your shoes. And he just walked away. She was like, oh, that's all you gonna say to me? Like, you gotta lead him on a little bit, and then but it sound bad. It sound toxic. That sound like
what Steve Harvey would say. He was like, you want to get a girl, walk up to her, ask for her name, and then walk away.
But is it sound toxic because it's like you manipulating them?
But here's the thing.
He was right about that, though.
No, he got the girl.
He was right. He got the girl.
Here's the thing. Life is manipulation.
It is, unfortunately.
And you can manipulate someone out of love. Every time your mama say, if you don't get good grades, I'm taking your Xbox. That's manipulation.
Yeah.
But she's doing it because she cares.
Right.
There's no better word.
At all.
Manipulation is just Dang, I can't really
it's
think of any
manipulate-
words.
it's just-
I can't think of any words
It's
to
being able
describe
to,
it as good.
it's using
Because I was gonna say just pinpoint the
Negative
situation.
it's like it's using something as leverage. Yeah, that's when you
Negative
learn the word leadership.
Leverage, positive reinforcement, negative
Yeah.
reinforcement. That's manipulation. You use your leverage. You give ultimatums. But
Right.
that's life. That's love.
It is.
Love is manipulation.
So why do girls necessarily always go after
The street hood.
We
not
talked about
giving
that.
up.
Did we?
We talked about that last podcast.
Did we?
No, we
Yeah.
talked about it in the first part. They're not gonna see it in the video.
We talked about that in the first part.
Yeah,
You
the,
didn't-
the audio there. They're not gonna see it in the video.
Send the audio to me. Okay. Okay, we can reiterate. That was because we was talking about scripts and we was talking about how let's use a boy because I want to use females all the time.
Okay.
So a boy is raised in a single parent home with their mother. And no, let's use a father because just to show how universal it is. So single parent, the parent is a father. The father has commitment issues. And that's all the child's, because kids pick up on so many things that we don't even notice. Like, if y'all had you got younger siblings, but if you ever just had them in around you all the time, like me and my little
They
brother,
pick up on everything, especially when they're young, because they just sponges.
it'd be times where I just be doing my thing and I look and he's staring at me
Yeah.
hard than a mug.
Even
Like
what you
he's
looking at?
analyzing.
And that's
Yeah.
and that's when they're picking up on everything you do. That's why they say you gotta literally watch what you do around kids, especially like under 5.
Yeah, because they watching, they
Yeah.
learning. That's their brain is absorbing everything. But so a kid comes up with a father afraid of commitment. Maybe he picks up his father might have
Like
like
talk about this.
manipulation tendencies. Like every time he's with a woman, it's because he wants to get something out of her. That kid is gonna pick that up, and then as he gets older, he's going to be seeking out weaker women that he can do that shit to. And he's gonna always be with that type of woman because that's just running in his background. Like that's his. I wouldn't say that's his sub. That's his conscious mind as a kid picking up on those cues,
Yeah, he just gonna do it naturally.
and he's just gonna do it naturally. And unless you notice it, it's hard to work out. So it's the same thing with a female that's always wanting that hood dude or whatever. You can kind of tell when a girl is from a stable home, whether it was her father or her grandfather around, because of the way she acts, the way that the type of guy she seeks out, or she might have had a mother that was always in different relationships. Maybe her mother was promiscuous. Maybe her mother was in abusive relationships.
Right.
That's all she was seeing when she was younger. It's in her brain. So she's gonna seek out. She's not even noticing. But she's looking at dudes and she's picking up certain facial expressions, certain mannerisms, the way they say certain words, and becomes attracted to that.
Right.
And then attraction can become addiction.
Yeah.
And even obsessiveness.
Yeah.
So
we talked about that for sure.
yeah. So that's just
Or it's
briefly
just
touch on
personal
it.
preference. Sometimes you just attracted to certain things like that.
Or
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's your preference, but it's not good for you.
No, not at all. Not all of them. Sometimes it's just you grow up with it, you naturally do it, not even thinking about it, and it happens like that sometimes. But some people grow up and they just like it.
But sometimes
That's
it's like
why I
an
like-
environmental thing. Like say, like
Yeah.
a nice guy
Yeah.
again. A nice guy, he does everything for this girl, and he gets hurt because she just messes with somebody else after he did all this. So then he looks at the dudes around him that are actually getting females, and he's like, "What am I doing? Or what are they doing that I'm not doing?" Then he picks up like how they don't.
He might
They
pick
don't-
up on their negative.
He's gonna pick up on the negative that gives him the positive.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, they don't care. They're not doing all this. Like, oh, they're not buying or nothing. They're not paying for nothing.
That's a hurt man.
Yeah.
He didn't get it healthily, like you said.
Yeah.
A good guy.
Hurt people.
A good guy is going to realize, okay, there are certain times where I do have to do this, but for the most part, be
You can
this
still be
way,
a great person.
be still a good person. But I might have to use this sometimes.
Gotta pull that card sometimes.
But like a hurt man is just gonna
All the time. That
Yeah,
card
pursue her with reckless abandon. Like he's just gonna not
Lying,
be calling
just
chicks
drive
back,
to the door.
lying, all of that. But yeah, I understand what you're
And
saying.
then, but yeah.
Is that
Well,
all we want to say on that?
yeah. I mean, I don't see.
Let me see your phone, because I think the perfect thing to segue into is men and women being treated the same.
Okay. Now we talking about generally sports,
Like
Like
y'all
all.
said.
relationships,
we talk about it all, but let's start with emotionally and mentally,
Oh man.
because
I feel like in a certain way they can't be treated the same because we don't have like the same mindsets and like the same hormones and stuff like that.
now, was that in the first part of the podcast where we talked about evolution and stuff and
We
women?
did. We kind of touched it. We didn't really go into depth on it.
We
I think we
but
brushed the surface.
We brushed it. And we don't.
all right.
But I feel like it's just. I mean, I think it's really once you understand it, it's real simple. The guys, for the most part, have been looked at over a long evolution about how they're supposed to be the tough ones of the family. They the breadwinners. They go out. They not supposed to feel anything. They supposed to be the workhorse. The women are supposed to be the ones home tending to the kids, cleaning up the houses, washing dishes, preparing dinner, stuff like that, while the guys out. And it's not really like you should worry about how the guys feel. Stop me if you are sister.
It's different with the culture. It's all about the culture though, because like your dad said, way back in the day, where I forgot what the word was, but it was more, your family was the industry. You had a lot of kids, so they could work. It was more equal then, because everybody's working out in the field, everybody's cooking, everybody's trying to keep the family going. So it was more equal. But then you fast forward, early Victorian era, you fast forward, just talking about European history, where the mother stays home, watches the kid, the father goes out to work.
Right.
So it does get turned into that.
The guy's supposed to be straight like robots, like you're supposed to go do this every day. The women are the more emotional ones because they're at home tending to the kids. They're like typically the hardest part of a family.
But this is a problem I always have, because some girls do be like, and I'll admit, I don't show a lot of emotion towards anything. I feel like you can't think straight when you being too emotional.
Right, because you just.
I was raised around
emotions.
emotional people.
Right.
A lot of rash decisions get made from emotional mind states.
Right, bad and good.
So I tend to be more reserved.
Right.
Because sometimes it's not even necessary.
That's just, I don't know what it is about the makeup of women though. It's just natural. They
That's
just
what
more
I'm
emotional.
getting to. So they would get on us. I got on by my mama, my grandma, my aunties, my girlfriend, everybody. You don't show enough.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I feel like, all right, that might be an overall man problem. We
I
don't
feel like
show
males
enough.
were brought up saying like you show emotion, you're weak.
And it's like even if you do anything
Yeah.
feminine, you're weak. Anything. Like
Right.
like my sister had Barbie dolls. If I go touch the Barbie doll, my grandpa, man, what is you doing in there? Go touching that thing. And it's like we laugh about it now, but if you really think about that, that's really bad.
They're enforcing a lot of
we talking about that
insecurities
too.
into us.
Yeah, because then like the kid starts to pick up like, why can't I do the same thing that the girls is doing?
Am I not man enough?
Right.
Because I like doing this, and then they start to question their manhood. But back to what I was trying to say, like I feel like they get on us about that, but I also feel like
Who was that?
Adriana.
Ask her. Have her on there. Just ask her a question real quick.
Hello, boo boo.
We gotta cut that out either.
Hello?
Cut that out.
It's froze. Can you hear me?
Hello.
What's up? She can't hear me. All right. I feel like women are too emotional. Too emotional.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a balance. I'm trying to find that
Oh,
balance
okay.
of emotion and stoicism.
Mhm.
Stoicism is the art of just not giving a fuck.
Right.
And then being more emotional and more in tune with yourself is like me understanding that I am supposed to cry sometimes.
Right.
I am supposed to,
Because it's not healthy.
It's not healthy to hold your tears.
Yeah, it's not. And I don't care how tough you are, everybody.
you have to.
And I get emotional. It's only a couple things that somebody will ever catch me emotional about. If somebody die, if I'm about to kill somebody, or if I'm really hurt about something. And it's the only people that's gonna know is my mom or dad. That cause you can ask her upstairs. Like I cried a couple times. It's recently. But
Crying
they
is
don't
like, but I've man.
it saves me from going to do something that I know that I shouldn't do. Because I done made a whole bunch of dumb decisions based off of my emotions right
and
there.
all you had to do was cry.
Cry. Literally, that's it.
Literally, just to rip. That's a
And a lot
way
of people
of tear. Endorphins are in our tears.
Yes.
Endorphins is that pain chemical in our brain that makes us like shut down when we being hurt or something, or makes us want to fight something. Like endorphins are released in our tears, so sometimes you really do need to cry just to get
that's
it
really
out.
all it is.
But I've built myself up just because my mom is like, you don't show enough, but it's like,
Do you feel you're gonna be too vulnerable if you do?
correct. And that's because every time, me and my mom had a real conversation the other day. She was like, a lot of people's, because a lot of her, they call her Meanie Jean. Her name is Jean. They call her because she was mean, and people always have looked at me as being mean and stuff. But it's because we had that in common. Every time we felt we were showing something or being vulnerable,
Hurry up and nip it in the butt.
like somebody always does something to ruin it, and we like, oh, I guess I can't be that way. And instead of just saying I can't be that way with that person who said we can't be that way at all. And I built myself. I can't cry,
I can't either.
bro. I cannot cry.
That's not good.
I feel it in my chest, but just how I've trained myself in doing boxing and wrestling
I
and
did all that too.
sports like that where you don't want to show emotion on the mat,
Right.
didn't help it.
Yeah, no, that didn't help. You're right.
Because now I could take a bullet and probably not cry.
I don't know about that. That's
I'm
the
just,
part.
I'm being,
I know.
it's hyperbolic.
Yeah, I know, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've definitely broke limbs and not shed a tear.
Oh, I have, nigga. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, when I tore my LCR, I didn't cry either. It's only 3 things you would ever catch me emotional about.
And that'll probably send somebody into shock.
Yeah.
But it's like doing those, and on top of how we was raised, it prevents.
It's not a lot of space, and it is. We not bashing it. That's how we grew up. That's how a lot of people in our black community grow up. You did, especially us guys. We taught. It's like a lot of things, and that we can tie this into mental health. It's a lot of things that we're not supposed to show because we're men, and it's bad because we go through a lot. That's why you see a lot of people. They, you know what I'm saying, they start sipping, lean, and doing all type of drug abuse.
Trying to find that release from life.
Yeah, so they don't have to, that's why it's an out of body experience, so you don't have to even worry about your emotions. But yeah, that's how it is. And the guys are just naturally overall, guys are just supposed to be more tough, and the societal viewpoint, you're supposed to not show anything.
I feel like women, because they have been allowed over the years to be emotional, like I feel like some, like, I can only use, and this is all opinion. This is all opinion and theory.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing is fact.
Right. And
Nothing
please
is
feel
fact.
free to share your opinions in the comments if you got anything.
But it's like, if I get into an argument with my girl, and I notice I'm cool. Nothing's ever that deep with me. Nothing is ever that deep.
Right.
So it's like when we get into it, I'm cool. But I can notice she's starting to, she's riling herself up. The more she thinks about it, the more she talk about it.
And then the more she starts getting emotional.
That's just
I get that way
release.
too, but I catch it, and I feel the
You
same.
gotta calm down. It's
Yeah.
not that deep.
But they amped up when you say
going.
that. But like, I feel like my mom's that way. I feel like
True.
all the women in my life have been that way.
So it's like you don't care enough because you're not getting mad like they're getting mad, and it just don't make.
When in actuality, the situation really isn't that deep in the grand scheme of things, and you just need to have some self-control. You can't tell them that though, but it's all self-control. I have self-control. I'm not going off and cussing like I would really feel like to.
Right.
But it's self-control because you can't fight fire with fire. So I feel like some women don't have that switch. Like I need to calm down. Because if I'm not yelling and cussing at you, it shouldn't be that way. And I'm not saying that's what my girl does. I'm just saying in general.
But even if you don't do that, I feel like they get even more upset that you're not doing that.
Because like you then it looks like you don't care.
You're not taking the situation as serious as they are.
Yeah.
That's just a hard one though.
We talking about emotion in black men, and men in general.
Yeah, look like. Let me tell you something about emotions in black men. We've been trained and taught to suppress it. Here's the thing: we got 2 kids. We got a little baby girl. We got a little boy. We take the girl, she fall or whatever. We say, get up, sweetie, get up, get up. Everything okay? We brush her off and try to do something.
Boy, fall,
The
bust his
comfort,
head.
get your ass up. You
Right.
all right or whatever. So it's ingrained in us. So yeah, there you go with that one right there. That's
Oh, that's exactly
that's
what
the
I'm
whole
talking
deal on that one. And then when it comes to mental illness, let's talk about that one. We don't want to talk about that either, because that's like if somebody say that they got some mental illness or whatever, they
Looked at as the crazy man.
no, they look like they're weak or
Yeah.
something wrong with them. But here's the thing about that is, let me tell you what mental illness or anything like that, counseling. Guess what counseling is? Just talking to somebody else about it.
Really just talking.
Talking
That's all it
to
is.
somebody else about it, getting
What
it
we
out.
doing? It's
And
just
off your
talking.
chest, exactly. So make sure y'all send me my royalty check.
Legally, we would have to.
It's true. Oh, he just that's just.
Yeah, that's.
So
I
we
mean,
talked
it's
about
as
everything
simple
we
as
did.
that.
Yeah, it is.
You just. That's what I do. But it's.
But I think you gotta.
But who can you talk to? If you don't have a close support group, if you feel like you can't talk to the women in general, if you can't talk to the women in your life, if you feel like your friends don't understand, then it's really just tension.
Yeah, and everything builds up.
Building.
And then
We
you
all
maybe
got our
it's-
own volcanoes.
And I feel
and
like
some
that's where a
people
relationship
tolerance
comes
is
in handy.
Yeah,
Like when you
It
have that
should,
one girl,
though.
you can just talk
It should though.
but then think about it. If it's something going on in your relationship that's adding to that toxic.
It's gonna be hard to talk about. It could be easy to talk about your own problems, but when it comes to like women don't want to have that talk about infidelity.
Maybe it's not even relevant to what y'all got going on. Just
It might not, but just period. Women don't want to talk about infidelity because this is what we was talking about. Should women be treated different? We all have our different, just the way we're raised in society. Society enforces different things on us.
Right.
Society is hypersexualized. Society enforces you with a bunch of women, you the man, a bunch of stuff. So, and on top of that, puberty.
Yeah, you're supposed to be the alpha dog.
Puberty.
All the time.
It's in media. You're supposed to be alpha. You're having sexual urges that just came out of nowhere. Your parents might have not been able to give you the correct talk, so you turn to porn. You turn to sexually explicit movies to get your information. You turn to your friends that is going through the same exact thing you going
it's
through.
just a revolving door with lack of information.
And this is just with boys.
Yeah.
So you grow up with these
And
certain
girls
things.
go through it way worse. I don't think it's close how much girls go through way worse than we do.
Because they are the target for the sexualization.
Right, and that's why we're supposed to be the hunters. That's why we go after like women.
But that's
why they
just
can't
in
on the
general.
list. I know.
That's what that urge is. That urge kicks on when you cut 13. All right, it's time for you to have kids.
Yeah.
That's just primal. That's from
Naturally.
way
Naturally.
back. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
Girls
And
getting married at 12.
Yeah.
10.
But that was back in the day. Now it don't need to be that way. 'Cause the way
Naturally,
we
once
have
you-
society set up.
Once your body naturally really reaches that point to where you can physically have kids, then that's where your hormones and stuff come in. It's like, okay, now you're gonna start feeling this way. Your hair, you start getting hair on your face, underarms, you know.
And nobody knows how to have that conversation with you. So you grow up in this hypersexualized society with these emotions that you really don't know. You have false information. So when you get out here,
Now
you have to control
caveman,
yourself.
yeah.
You're going to feel like you're going to be with a girl and you're going to feel like wanting to fuck every attractive girl you see. I feel like a lot of men they can't tell that to their girl because their girl's like, just control yourself. Just control yourself.
It's not that
It's
easy.
a lot.
But it's easy to say that though.
It's a mental impediment. I feel like it's an impediment.
When girls not understanding.
No, I feel like us going through that is an impediment.
What you mean?
It's something we have to realize and then fight against. Every time you think of a girl, you have to have the willpower to banish the thought. I'm not even gonna think about it. That takes a lot of willpower. It's over time. It's gotten extremely easy for me.
Oh yeah, because once you try,
over time you just train your.
Because then at some point you start, once you get a little bit more knowledge about what goes on in society, then you're like, okay, now she look good on the outside, but that turn you off real quick.
That or just knowing, yeah, she look good,
but can
she offer what mine has to provide?
Right.
Guess what? I'm not gonna take the time to find out, or the risk. Banish the thought.
But I think that, and even that sometimes can be held as a negative because then it's like you don't give nobody a chance.
What am I giving a person a chance for? I got one at home.
I'm not talking about you.
Just in general.
Then you like damn, like I'm not giving nobody a chance to even look like being in the draft.
If you are, but in my situation, I'm already picked.
Right,
First
you not
round,
worried about
so
nothing.
it's like,
I'm just saying.
so it's like
You always want to be first round.
I know. You
first round draft pick.
First pick.
But it's like, so
For the guys that's still in college, hypothetically, trying to get into the draft, you're not giving those teams no chance because you already got that preconceived notion.
But I feel
She
like
might look good, but
But
she can't hold a conversation.
I
She
feel
may look
like
good.
not
she doesn't
necessarily
box
that.
college for guys is like free agency.
I'm talking about, hold up,
What is she talking
hold
about?
up. I'm talking about if you already have a girl.
Oh, okay. You should set that. Oh, yeah.
And if you're getting with how women, if you think about women, you're out of public, you already have a girl at home, just don't think about it. You literally have to control yourself.
Right.
That's the thing that I feel like a lot of men battle with is that control because society is capitalizes off that urge and wants to bring that urge out of you, that sexual urge.
Mhm.
So it's a real problem. But for us to have that conversation, that's women, I feel like, this is opinion, will have to get over their egos and what they perceive
It's hard for men.
is hard because we're different.
So my
So
next
we can
question,
have that conversation. Yeah.
my next question is for that. When do you think? So say you have a kid, right? You got say you got a son and a daughter. So at one point in their life, do you have that conversation with them about that? What about you?
About
It's
like,
gonna have to be young because they have to. But you want it to be old enough for them to understand, like what's going on in society. But then
You feed
want
it to
to be-
them.
but you want them to be young enough so they soak it up.
probably
And
like
and
8th
run with
grade
it.
going into high school.
I would just be feeding them how the
But
world
when
works
would that start? You don't. It has to be a certain age.
as soon as they can talk. And you can do it very
Yeah, but that-
simple.
but that-
You can do it with parables. You can do it like in stories, how they will. You can do
Yeah,
it
you do it
to
when
where
they
they understand.
start. So when they start talking,
As soon as they can start talking and comprehend and having a conversation.
fools. Okay, I was about to say, can start to talk and comprehend the sentences is too.
Yeah, so when they can comprehend sentences, that's when I will start just feeding it to them little by little.
Right. Okay, I'll take that. That makes sense. So you said you're gonna wait a little bit later, like
Yeah.
about 7th, 8th grade, like when you really start
Because
going
it's
to
like-
adulthood
yeah.
to an extent.
Cause like in middle school, you start messing with girls, but it's like, oh, I just started dating her, and then like a week later, so
Or you could be ruined.
Right.
Like a lot of people start in like the 3rd grade, where you shouldn't be thinking about sex, but unfortunately,
It happens.
shoot blanks.
shoot straight blanks.
Ain't no point in that kind of thing.
How are you on your phone?
I have to check something, fam. I'm running this business.
You not.
For tuning in. I hope if you learned something or if you have something to say, just open our comments, hit us in the DMs. If you feel like we didn't hit on certain points, just remember this is all love. This is all us and our opinions and how we perceive life, because everything is different.
Right. You got to understand that we only 19, so we haven't seen everything, nowhere near everything that maybe some of the OGs or old heads done witnessed. So
And
you got to
maybe,
bear with us.
and as you're probably young just like us watching this, so you don't know everything either.
Right, so you just gotta let's just be open minded, take
Mhm.
consideration what everybody's saying. If you got something that you want to share, please don't hesitate to hit the comments. Hit our social medias if you want to talk personally. Trust me, we respond. And that's it. Catch y'all in the next episode.